Every thought you've ever had, every movement you've ever made, every sensation you've ever felt. It all comes down to one type of cell communicating with another. If you can understand neurons and glial cells, the entire nervous system suddenly becomes simple. So let's break it down right now. The nervous system is built from two main types of cells: neurons and neuroglial cells, which everyone just calls glial cells. This distinction is extremely important for your exams, so remember this simple rule: neurons communicate. Glial cells support. That's it. Neurons talk. Glial cells help. Let's start with the communicators. A neuron is a nerve cell that is specially designed to do three things: receive information, process that information, and then transmit it to another cell. Neurons are the body's electrical wiring, carrying nerve impulses everywhere. To understand how they do this, you have to know their parts. This is very high yield for exams. Every neuron has three main sections. First, you have the dendrites. These are little branch-like extensions that receive incoming signals from other cells. They bring information toward the main part of the neuron. A simple way to remember this is, dendrites detect. They're the antennas of the cell. Next, that signal travels to the cell body, also called the soma. The cell body is the neuron's headquarters. It contains the nucleus and all the other machinery needed to keep the cell alive. Its main job in communication is to process all the signals coming from the dendrites and decide whether to pass the message along. So, think cell body decides. If the decision is go, the signal is sent down the third part, the axon. The axon is a long single fiber that carries the nerve impulse away from the cell body and sends it to the next cell in the chain. Axons can be incredibly long, like the ones that run from your spinal cord all the way down to your big toe. So for the axon, think axon acts, it takes action. The absolute #1 exam rule for neuron structure is knowing the direction of the signal. It always travels from the dendrites to the cell body and then down the axon, dendrite to cell body to axon. Never forget that order. Now let's talk about the different types of neurons you'll be tested on. There are three main functional types. First, we have sensory neurons. These are also called afferent neurons. They carry nerve impulses from receptors all over your body, like in your skin, eyes, or ears, and deliver that information asterisk to asterisk the central nervous system, which is your brain and spinal cord. For example, when you touch a hot surface, sensory neurons send that pain and heat signal to your brain. A great mnemonic for this is afferent arrives at the central nervous system. Second, we have motor neurons, also called efferent neurons. These do the opposite. They carry instructions asterisk from asterisk the central nervous system asterisk out asterisk to the muscles or glands, telling them what to do. This results in things like muscle contraction or a gland releasing a hormone. The mnemonic here is just as easy. Efferent exits the central nervous system. Finally, we have interneurons. As their name suggests, they are the in-between neurons. They are found only within the central nervous system, and their job is to connect sensory neurons to motor neurons. They are the middlemen, the processors. They are heavily involved in reflexes and all the complex processing that happens in your brain. And here's an exam favorite. The vast majority of neurons in your body are actually interneurons. Okay, let's talk about speed. How do these signals travel so fast? Some axons are covered with a fatty layer called the myelin sheath. The function of myelin is to insulate the axon and dramatically increase the speed of the nerve impulse. Think of it like the plastic insulation around an electrical wire. It prevents the signal from leaking out and makes it travel faster. This myelin sheath isn't continuous. It has small gaps in it called the nodes of Ranvier. The nerve impulse doesn't travel smoothly down the axon. Instead, it jumps from one node to the next. This jumping conduction is called saltatory conduction. It's much faster. A key clinical point is that diseases that cause the loss of myelin, like multiple sclerosis, slow down nerve transmission, leading to serious neurological problems. Now let's move on to the second type of cell, the glial cells. These are the unsung heroes of the nervous system. Remember, glial cells do not conduct nerve impulses. Instead, their job is to support, protect, nourish, and insulate the neurons. They are the neuron's support system. And here as a key fact that often appears on exams. Glial cells actually outnumber neurons by quite a bit. You don't need to know every type of glial cell in deep detail at this level, but you should know the main players and their roles. First, we have astrocytes. These are star-shaped cells that provide physical support and nourishment to neurons. Then we have oligodendrocytes. These are the cells that form the myelin sheath around axons asterisk and the central nervous system asterisk. To form myelin in the asterisk peripheral nervous system asterisk, that is, everywhere outside the brain and spinal cord, the body uses Schwann cells. This is a classic exam trap. Oligodendrocytes are for the CNS. Schwann cells are for the PNS. Finally, there are microglia, which are the immune defense cells of the nervous system, cleaning up waste and protecting against invaders. So let's put it all together in a clear exam comparison. Neurons versus glial cells. Neurons conduct nerve impulses. They are highly specialized, and they generally do not divide once they are mature. Glial cells, on the other hand, are support cells. They do not conduct impulses, and they can divide and multiply throughout life. This is why most brain tumors are actually gliomas, meaning they arise from glial cells, not neurons. So if an exam question asks, which cell is responsible for conducting nerve impulses? The answer is always the neuron, not the glial cell. Alright, let's do a quick exam summary to lock this all in. Ready? Neurons are the communication cells. Glial cells are the support cells. In a neuron, dendrites receive signals and axons send signals. Sensory neurons are afferent. They arrive at the CNS. Motor neurons are efferent. They exit the CNS. Interneurons connect them and are found only in the CNS. Myelin increases the speed of the signal. And for myelin production, Schwann cells are in the PNS, while oligodendrocytes are in the CNS. Got it? In the next video, we're going to dive into how those nerve impulses, called action potentials, actually work. I'll break it down without the complicated equations and show you exactly what examiners expect you to know. If this video helped you simplify the basics, be sure to continue with the playlist and master the nervous system, one simple step at a time. Thanks for watching.